Hello, heroes, and welcome to a very special video. We are reacting to the brand new Superman sneak peek.
This has been something we've both been highly anticipating, but due to my work week, we were not able to watch it together on the day it came out. So Josh watched it when it came out, and I have not seen it today. I took one for the team so that we would get a genuine reaction.
Now, I did get my reaction on a phone, so we'll throw some of those clips in. We don't normally get to see my live reaction on this channel, so I made sure to get that for you guys.
So without further ado, let's get into it.
Do it!
Here we go. I think it's a really interesting choice that they start these off with an injured Superman. Because Superman's
Like,
usually this
that's a lot.
untouchable figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, what has he been fighting that has beat him up that bad?
This is also apparently in the beginning of the movie.
Oh. Huh. Ooh.
Stop! 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 No! Crypto! Crypto! Crypto. Take me home. Home.
This dog is not intelligent.
Crypto. Home.
Whoa.
Superman!
Hey, Colonel, you're Hey, Colonel, you're too
Thank you.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it. We have no consciousness whatsoever. Merely automaton. Meet 12. She's new.
He looked at me.
Superman treating them like they're
1400 bones.
people
Damage to
and
bladder, kidney,
like
large
sentient
intestine, lungs.
with emotions is
With a healthy dose of yellow sun,
so telling. I
up
love
and
it.
at 'em in no time.
Yo.
Level 4? 292 times Saharan Prime, please, one.
He's back.
Him! Him!
I know everything that's happening in it already.
Yeah.
I've seen the descriptions, but I'm so excited for this. Oh my gosh. This is gonna hold me over to the official trailer. Apparently this is like how the movie starts. Oh boy.
They put those in it.
Oh! More shots of us. I barely move. Okay, new music. I feel like I've never seen a fortress that looks like that. Like, that's such an odd shape, but I love it. Okay.
The music
Oh,
is
it's so comics accurate. Shut up, it lights up. Oh my gosh. They look so good.
He looked at me.
Oh, it's so sci-fi. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Shut up. Okay, do we see anything else from this? Oh, voice. New music. Whoa, okay. I feel like we didn't see that full shot. Or that. Bro, I'm so down bad for Lois. Oh my gosh.
I'm so freaking hyped.
I want more.
You were right. She is Lois Lane.
Right?
She is Lois Lane. I love her. Oh my gosh. I love how we can tell the difference between like Superman and the difference between Clark Kent.
Oh,
Like in just those clips alone, it's fantastic. Because you know, one of the things that like I always talk about with like a Superman live action portrayal is the need to differentiate so well and have such a clear difference. That's something that we don't always get, and so it makes me really happy that even in the trailer we can see that.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Because I don't know, like, in previous Superman movies, if they would have even done that in the trailer. Like, we've seen some of it in the movie, like, specifically Christopher Reeve. Like, you can see the difference between his Clark and his Superman. But, like, would they have shown that in the trailer? I don't know.
Also, like you make a good point because like it's a Superman movie, so you'd want to like focus on the Superman, and so the fact that you do include those Clark Kent moments, I like the Daily Planet moments that both this sneak peek and the trailer had.
Mm-hmm.
It really fleshes out the world for us in just the sneak peek. Like we don't even have to see the movie yet.
Something I love about everything that we've seen so far is you can tell it is just so unique. There are so many things in this movie that we have never ever seen in a Superman movie. Crypto, robots, like full, like basically sentient
The
robots.
robot surprised me. The robot surprised me because I'm used to like one.
Yeah, well, and that's right off the pages of All-Star Superman. Like, and that being the one comic that I've read, I would know. That's the only time you'll be able to hear me say that.
For now, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it.
I'm working on it too.
That was really cool. And like I said, showing Superman treating these robots that like have acknowledged their lack of emotional sentience, but still treating them like people, kind of goes back to like why Superman is so great. But also like it's that Clark Kent that's still there even when he's Superman.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's hard to choose, but I think one of my favorite shots or like moments in this whole teaser trailer thing is when Superman says hello to that robot. Like his voice, his smile, it's like, oh my gosh, that is Superman.
He does such a good job of characterizing that. Something else I really appreciated about like just how we're seeing Clark Kent and Superman, like as we saw when he was friendly and kind to this robot who doesn't have like the emotions that would like be hurt if he wasn't kind, was just his kindness and how friendly and nice he is. And like as someone who grew up in a small town, it's really nice to see that on screen because like the Superman media I grew up with, he didn't have that same welcoming atmosphere that this actor just kind of brings.
Hmm.
At least, like, this is all from my memory. I haven't seen these movies again in years, but like I distinctly remember that Superman being nice, but feeling a little unapproachable
Hmm.
as a kid specifically. And I think as a kid, even watching the sneak peek, I would feel comfortable going up to this Superman and being like, "Hey, I need help,"
Hmm.
which is what you need if you're going to have Superman.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing that David Corenswet, like not just him, but all of these actors, they know their characters, including obviously James Gunn. Um, they just did an interview after this was released, talking about everything, and it was so cool because like Rachel was talking about her Lois and how like she sees things differently than Clark, and then David was over here like, well, I mean, but Clark like sees it like this, and like they were literally arguing like a couple, and it was like these are my Clark and Lois.
I I love that actress in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Mhm.
I'm really excited to see her Lois Lane.
Yeah, and this is a pretty different role than that role for sure. She's got this like I don't know, this like really energetic high voice, and that doesn't seem like the Lois that they're presenting us with. So, I'm really excited to see her
Me
as Lois
too.
for sure.
Me too. Also, the cameos we were getting from other heroes
Yeah.
within the DC universe.
Hmm.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me in real life knows that I'm a huge Green Lantern fan and a huge Nathan Fillion fan. I grew up watching Castle, which he plays Richard Castle in, and I just adore his performance in that. Nathan Fillion was my Hal Jordan fan cast for years. He voiced him in some of the movies, the animated movies, and I was like, he's around the age for an older Hal Jordan. Like, come on, make it happen. And then they announced he was playing Guy Gardner, and I'm like, still a Green Lantern. He's intentionally unlikable
Mm,
in a lot of his writing. I read a lot of Green Lantern comics that focus on Hal Jordan, and those two do not always get along. So I'm excited to see how this actor tries to portray Guy Gardner in a way that's true to the comics, but doesn't make us hate him for the entire movie.
yeah. Yeah, let's hope, right? There's rumors that he's supposed to show up in Lanterns too, which I mean, as he should.
Which I am so excited for
Oh,
Lanterns.
so many people are too. The HBO and everything, and the just think the little bit that we've heard about that show, it sounds so promising. Do you have, and it can be the smallest thing, but do you have any reservations for this movie?
I'm scared that we're really hyped about it and it's not going to be as good as we think it's going to be.
Hmm.
That's one of them. Um, I'm curious as to if I'm curious who our main villain is.
Gunn has said a number of times that Lex is the main villain.
We haven't really like we've seen Lex Luthor,
Lex is the main villain.
but the shots that they've given us of Lex Luthor do not give super villain. I had no idea James Gunn said that
Hmm. Hmm.
yet. Like, and I think it's because we're used to like seeing him in like the kryptonite suit or like being like outright malicious.
Hmm.
And so seeing him like turn away angrily and then holding a gun,
Hmm.
it makes me wonder if they're setting him up to be the main villain or if they're setting up to be like a long-term villain.
So
Just like things I'm curious about.
Gunn has said a number of times that Lex is the main villain. But what I kind
Okay.
of see what you're saying, how like, okay, but like what can he do against Superman, right? Like
Hmm.
there's some speculation. Um I think there's been a shot of this in the trailer, so it's not spoiling anything. So there's the engineer in this movie, and she'll be working with Lex. And then there is everybody's been calling him Ultraman. It's not confirmed to be Ultraman, and it's probably not, but it's this black like figure, and it's there's like a U thing on his chest, and so that's what everybody's calling him for the sake of something to call him. Um, but there are a lot of theories behind that, and I won't get into them because I don't want to potentially talk about things that haven't been released yet. But so Lex does have things working for him, and I think he will be the mastermind behind it all, for sure, in this movie.
For sure. I'm so sorry. I was looking for a comic. I don't
You're
think it's
good.
here. I think it's at my parents. And that does make sense. It's just like I'm curious to see how that goes. You know, I love the actor who's playing Lex.
Hmm.
This is the reason why we have this channel set up this way. Really, I know so much about like the source material and like all this stuff because I had no idea James Gunn said that. Um,
Yeah.
I guess I'm curious how they're going to do that. I am also like another thing I reserved about that I thought about when I had my head under the desk looking for that comic book was we're excited about this movie.
Hmm.
We've had a lot of opinions about DC media the last couple of years. But like you specifically of the two of us have been having slight disagreements with certain fans of certain DC movies on threads.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned with how those fans are going to receive the movie and how they're going to like either boost or potentially drop interest in the movie depending on how vocal they are with their reviews.
Hmm. I think that the issue that we have with that situation is that is going to happen no matter what at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really just, and I hate to say it because it's a scary thing to say, but I honestly think that we just have to depend on the general audience at this point because
Yeah.
they're like that's the one that is really going to matter because as much as, we are excited about it and we have friends that are excited and we have a whole community that are excited, the general public is probably a bigger audience than us.
It definitely
Yeah,
is.
exactly. So it's like that's where like all the business comes in with this. It's like you have to please the comic book people because if you don't, like, I mean, they're really the ones that you're making it for. Um, but then you also have to please the general audience. And so I
Yeah.
think we are already seeing so many things about this movie that are going in that direction. Crypto, that's going to get a ton of ticket sales. The some of the casting, I mean, Rachel Brosnahan, I think a lot of people are really excited about her. I have not heard a single bad thing about her unless it's from those people that their opinions I don't care about. Um, And
You're like single-handedly like holding down the front line in some of those comment sections.
yeah, well, and the tough thing is like there's been so much with this movie that like leaks and stuff, and people trying to do stuff that I think they're passionate about, sure, but I think it does more harm than good. Um, Talking about it the way that it is on social media, um, because really what it's just going to do is divide the fan base more. Like when
Yeah.
the first like look for Superman or even the first trailer, although the first trailer did very well. But I saw so many hate comments. Um, but the issue was I was getting really frustrated by it. It wasn't just hate comments from the typical people. It was hate comments from the people that are excited for this movie. And I was like, why are we doing this? We should be excited for this movie, and that's all there is. Why are we comparing at this point? Like, it's the natural thing to do, but
Yeah.
this is always just going to be my personality and my perspective. But let's just be excited for what we have coming.
Yeah, because also your your like hate comments about the new direction that DC is moving with their movies is not going to change the fact that they're moving this direction.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Gunn's here and he's here to stay.
Hmm.
What we can do is help hype up the movies that are coming out because we are getting good like big screen movies for this genre that we love. But
Hmm.
also when we go to the internet to talk about the projects that are coming out, we should be going to the internet to talk about them with good, constructive, either criticism or praise,
Yeah,
so
for
that
sure.
they know either this is what we like or this is what we want to see. Because,
Hmm.
like you said, while they have to make money at the box office, they are making these superhero movies for the superhero fans.
Hmm.
Like my mom will never go to see a superhero movie on her own.
Hmm.
But as long as she likes what's coming out, she will go with me to see them.
Hmm.
Whereas if she doesn't like it, she just won't go.
Yeah. Well, and what you were just saying about the start of the DCU and everything, that's a whole nother thing about it, that I've been trying to communicate with people, which is, okay, do you hate James Gunn? Okay, I don't care. Cool. Good for you. He's not going to be directing every single movie. He's not going to be writing every single movie. He is, yes, in charge and he will be making the decisions. So if you just like are actively against everything that the man stands for, then I'm sorry. But that's not a way to live life. He's hiring different directors. He's hiring different writers.
Yeah.
They're going to bring their own thing to these stories. Supergirl is going to be very different from Superman, and Clayface is going to be very different. Sergeant Rock, like a war film through DC. Like there's going to be stuff like Superman is the first one. So sure, I'll take whatever, what happens at this point. The other thing is with Superman being the first one, a lot of people are saying this movie needs to do successful to for the DCU to continue. And there might be some merit in that, but I don't know. From what we've seen, it seems like it's gonna be a slam dunk.
Right. And that is the thing is like, yeah, we're restarting the universe, which does mean that this needs to be successful. This movie is also bringing characters to the big screen that we have not seen before or not seen often. And
Hmm.
that is huge. Something that I have talked to you about, I am sure it will come up in future videos, is the idea that to be we need to be introducing these characters that are popular in the comics into wider media, specifically like female heroes and heroes of color,
Hmm.
because we don't have as many of those. And a lot of times people will go through like recasting in order to get more representation into these movies when we have fantastic representation in the comics that need to be given the chance.
Hmm.
So seeing Hawkgirl, seeing Mr. Terrific makes me so excited because that's exactly what we need to be doing. Like we are introducing characters to the public eye that have been hiding in the comics
Hmm.
that now can broaden this universe, but also give more people a chance to see themselves within superhero media, which is why like superhero media is so popular. Is you can see yourself in the characters, or they give you hope. There is a level of connection within superheroes. That is why this media has lasted since the 1930s.
Hmm. Well, and kind of like another dimension of that is not just giving characters a chance in live action because they're good in the comics, but even some of them that might not be very well received in the comments can be or
Yeah.
comics can be given a chance in live action and restored or animation. We saw Creature Commandos. Those characters, like everybody, kind of fell in love with. And I'd never heard of Weasel and I've never heard of the Bride beforehand.
I had only heard of two of the characters in the Creature Commandos roster when it came out. I had heard of Dr. Phosphorus because of the Batman comics, and I had heard of the Weasel because of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And I notoriously hated the Weasel in Suicide Squad. He freaked me out. And I was very vocal about this to Josh specifically. And so he's like, okay, we're gonna watch Creature Commandos. And I'm like, but it has the Weasel in it. He's like, trust me. I'm like, okay, sure. And we start watching it, and I immediately fall in love with GI Robot. Like, what? How had I never heard of this guy? And he's just a little guy. I introduced the show to one of my really good friends from home the other day. Same thing. We love GI Robot, and I still didn't like the Weasel. Like, I had this very negative approach going into it. But the further we got in, and the more we learned about the character, then the more that we kind of had that like silly James Gunn writing style that he has a lot, the more I fell in love with this character that I hated.
Hmm.
Until by the very end, I am cheering on this little guy.
Yeah.
You make a good point in introducing characters that weren't well received, or like introducing characters that have like specifically like, historically not the best like writing,
Hmm.
because live action does give us the opportunity to introduce characters to the general public, but your live action universe is completely different from your comics universe. It should be very deeply rooted within your comics. But if you have a character where you're like, this character has so much potential and has been screwed over by the writers, this character has so much potential but came out at the wrong time.
Hmm.
This is your chance to give them that justice that you've been wanting for them.
Hmm.
And making those small tweaks to backstories, making those small tweaks to the history of the character, so that when you present it to the general public, you're giving them the best possible chance at loving this character that you can. I'm not saying like change an entire backstory, but I'm saying like if there was problematic stuff written in the 70s, fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think another thing about this movie is that it already obviously seems very different from any Superman movie or content really that we've ever seen. And I think that was very much on purpose and also very necessary. Because I saw a lot of people when this was announced and everything that were saying, why do we need another Superman movie? I've already seen this. And what I say to that after seeing this trailer and, everything that we know about it so far, no, you haven't. You have not seen this story. You have not seen this Superman even. And hey, there
Mm.
might be changes that are made in this movie that not everyone's going to agree with. Maybe even like there might be stuff that even I don't agree with, even though I am so excited for this movie. But it has potential for that, and I think that's something that we shouldn't let go of because it it just seems so positive. It seems to be taking us in such a positive and hopeful direction.
This is a Superman movie we haven't seen yet.
Hmm.
And like that's correct characterization wise and story wise. But something that really caught my eye as someone who works in theater design was the colors. We
Yes.
right now in movies, this is like a conversation that I've seen it on the internet. I've seen like entire like Instagram post essays on this, and then we've talked about it in some of my design courses, is the fact that our movies are losing color.
Hmm.
Like if you look at movies now compared to like in the Technicolor age, compared to the Reeves movies that came out in the 70s, compared to like even like films from the 90s, our films are losing color. They are becoming like more monotone, they are becoming more drab, the colors are duller. And one of the first things I noticed in this movie was our reintroduction to the classic Superman suit that has these bright colors, the colors of the robots, the colors that they
Hmm.
use within the Daily Planet office. But then Hawk Girl's costume and Green Lantern's costume have color that isn't dampened down in
Hmm.
a way that it becomes like close to a gray version of that color. And that is something that we haven't seen in a while. And
Hmm.
I found that very refreshing.
Yeah.
Because if you open like your standard Superman comic book, 9 times out of 10, it's colorful.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, and like it's not just the costumes and everything. It's just the way like the color grading of the whole movie, it seems.
Hmm.
Like I remember specifically that shot of the Daily Planet. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, what is happening? Like this looks so different from what I'm used to." And it took me a second. Honestly, I'm still kind of getting used to it.
Yeah.
But whereas like I specifically remember, I think it was Aquaman 2. He got the accurate comic costume, and it was bright. It was orange and green. But the rest of the movie, it was still kind of those dull colors. So that yeah,
Hmm.
this whole thing seems bright and hopeful, and I think is generating a lot of excitement. And we still have the first full trailer that we have yet to see. Yeah.
It's just occurred to me that I don't actually know how movies work. What did we watch a couple months ago?
The teaser trailer. That was the teaser trailer. This was the first official sneak peek. And then the first official full trailer where we'll probably be getting dialogue moments and everything is expected to come out on Superman Day, April 18th. Also Good Friday.
It's just occurred to me that I don't actually know how movies work. Like how this part works. You tell me to watch something and I watch it.
Yep. Well, and if it makes it any better, there before the teaser trailer, there was a teaser to the teaser of the teaser trailer. And then there was a teaser to the teaser trailer. That's not normal though, I will say. James Gunn was just being a little
Okay.
extra.
He's really making us wait for it, is what
Yeah.
we have come to realize.
There was speculation that Cinemacon, the first official full trailer, would be shown and released to the public. And I was like refreshing my threads over and over. I was like, okay, where is it? Where is it? Like, where's the news? And they were like, oh, they're showing us a sneak peek. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I see a thing that's like, watch the first official sneak peek behind Minecraft. And I was like, are you kidding me? I've been waiting so long for this trailer. But after watching this, I think it will hold me over until the first official trailer.
We got it now.
We do.
Honestly, how are you more happy with the fact that this was a first look instead of a trailer, or would you have preferred a trailer instead of a first look?
I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting how this is done. There's a YouTuber that I actually kind of agree with, um, where I think if they would have done a Superman trailer at the Super Bowl, we would be winning. DC would be winning. But I understand why they didn't, because it does cost a lot of money. Warner Brothers, I think for the first time ever, did a trailer for the Super Bowl, and guess what movie it was?
Justice League?
The Flash.
Oh,
And so I think they didn't want to risk it again, but I think if they did, I don't know, it could have been even more huge. But I will say the teaser trailer that we got is literally one of the most viewed trailers like ever. It
really?
it did incredible. It did better than any Marvel movie. It did better than any DC movie of the past. So that is something to say for sure. I am happy with this first look, um this sneak peek. And like I said, I think it'll hold me over until the full trailer.
We're winning this July.
Hmm.
We get Superman. We get like 2 weeks for that to set in and that to process that, and then we immediately get Fantastic Four. And I think it's beautiful that these two movies that are coming out so close together are some of the first heroes that both of these franchises had comics for. I think it's great that we are going back to the ideas of colorful superhero movies.
Hmm.
I'm really excited for both of these, and I think, well, we've been waiting a long time to get content for either of them. The wait will hopefully be well worth it.
I think it will, for sure. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. We have been more than excited to film it, and I think we had a lot of fun doing so.
Before we get off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how we are doing things here. Our Iron Man video, which will be coming out hopefully soon, does say that it is the first reaction and review of our channel. That is because both Josh and I are editing videos as we're making them. Josh and I both also have jobs. I am a grad student with a job, and Josh has a job. So we don't have a ton of time outside of our work lives to edit. So a lot of that time is going just making these videos. I am editing our first review video, which is Iron Man, and Josh is editing this video. So you'll be seeing this one before we actually get our first official movie reaction. Let us know what you thought of the Superman first look in the comments. And if there's anything you want us to react to or review, let us know. Have a great day and stay groovy.
Outtakes. Had a good time watching it. What do you think? No, 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 no.
What do you think?
What do you think? But I like it. Okay, I hated that. Sorry.
My reaction's great.
I was trying to think of something witty to say, and it didn't work. You just have casually having crawfish. This like high voice. Okay, I'm never doing that again. But Sisi, I was holding this the whole time, and I brought it into frame at one point. I was like, no, don't do that.
Wait, I gotta get, what were you holding?
Screwdriver. Hey,
What do you think?
what do you think? There might be changes that
I forgot to talk about the cup.
I can't believe I just got a bunk cake. Aquaman comic, what's it called?
Yeah, totally.
Grit
I
one?
totally know.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting the month of June exists.
Full trailer coming out that James Gunn is currently working on.
Huh. Okay. I think I understand. That's another one I didn't see. You guys should have seen him when he found out they weren't getting a trailer at the Super Bowl.
Yes. Super!
That that was a time for this friendship.
I wasted my time. Um, yeah, that
You
was.
watched football and everything.
I actually didn't, but
I didn't.
but I like it.